And there he is, by order, the Peaky Blinders, the QB1 for the Buffalo Bills. What's up, Josh?
Just hanging out, man. Thanks for having me back on. That intro, man, it just gets me pumped. I don't know what it is about it, but it gets the
It's
juices
cool,
flowing.
right? It's retro, and we did the Nintendo thing, and we did the Peaky Blinders thing. I'm just tossing you shrimp like at Benihana. I know what you like. Welcome.
I'm gonna catch it. I'm gonna catch it every single time too. Never miss.
Every time. Don't whiff, or you'll just embarrass yourself in front of the whole table. Josh, speaking of Peaky Blinders, you turned me onto that show a long time ago. From my perspective, not your words, mine, in the fourth quarter, you guys went up against the Rams, and you took off the hats with the razor, and you just started swinging it. After the whole offseason of wanting to play a game, and expectations this, expectations that, had to feel great to go and get a win by a few touchdowns. I mean, it was probably what the greatest feeling in the world.
Yeah, it definitely was a great feeling. Our defense bowed up for us in that first half. We had 3 turnovers to go into halftime 10-10, essentially 0-0. We were pumped because we knew we didn't play the way we were supposed to play on the offensive side of the ball. But we came out in that second half, and again, our guys played hard. We made some plays, and it was a complete team victory.
Von looked crazy. He looked crazy. Like he looked like he was a rookie on the Broncos. You shared with us last week that he's got this whole thing going with you guys where he wants every week to be a track on an album. What was the week 1 track, and what are we looking forward to for week 2? Tell us about it.
Yeah, that was the intro track, and usually people skip the intro
Right.
track, but we wanted to make it a good one where people don't skip. So that's about the intro. I haven't asked him for track number 2 of what the name is or what it's going to be, but I guess we'll find out Monday night.
You know what? Because the intro track kind of sets it up and sets the foundation, and that's great. But you know when track 2 hits, like it has to be a banger, turn it way the hell up. It's Monday night. It's the Titans. What's your early impression of the game? How are you looking at it? And how do you feel about playing Monday nights in general?
Yeah, Monday night again. We know what it is. It's another primetime game, and we're playing against a really solid opponent that we've played the last 4 years. We're 2-2 in the last 4 years against them. They're going to be very ticked off about how last week went. They're a much better team than I think that they played. Than they played on Sunday. So they're going to come out. They're going to go try to prove themselves right. So we got to be ready for whatever punch that they throw at us. We got to have a good week of practice and put our best foot forward.
Titans, if they were a college program, would be one of these great programs that just has 9, 10 wins every single year. They're just one of those programs that matter. They're always good. And look, sometimes in week 1, you run into that feisty Brian Daboll and you lose. And I know you know all about that, Josh. In the meantime, listen, speaking of feisty, this morning on the NFL Network's Good Morning Football program, you won the Angry Run segment. You won it for your stiff arm against the Rams. This is the 4th time you have won the segment. You will be getting a scepter in the mail tomorrow. That's got to be big for you.
Huge. I think that's going to go up right back here somewhere. I'll hang it up. Yeah. I'll turn my tip the cap to you. Appreciate that. That's
My man.
number 4. Who's the all-time leader?
I'm glad you asked. Okay, you now have 4. It puts you second all time. Derrick Henry has 5. And Derrick Henry's a running back. He's about 290 pounds, and he was chiseled by God. You're a quarterback, so one more, and you will tie the King Henry for the all-timer. And I want to get into what goes into this, Josh, because I know you love to run, and you're this big old moose with the ball. Devin Singletary said something so fascinating, and this is part of the reason you won Angry Runs. He said that when you stiff-armed the defensive back, right in front of the Rams sideline, by the way, he said you were laughing while you did it and after you did it. And sure enough, I zoomed in on your face. You got this giant smile on your face. What is so funny about running angry like that? I want to hear.
I can neither confirm nor deny those allegations. But I love football, man. I love playing the game, everything that there is about it. There's one thing I do hate, it's losing. But, going and being able to go and stick my body on the line for my teammates on a 3rd down, try to keep things moving, that's really all I was trying to do. And again, that's how I've always played. That's how I'll continue to play, as long as I'm allowed to. And again, I play this game one way, and that's my way. And I have a lot of fun and enjoyment doing it.
All due respect to the defense and the opponent and everything, Look, it's fun to be physical in football. It's fun to hit people hard. It's fun to run over people. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I know it's all taboo now and the game is safer, but part of the reason you play football, it's really fun to push someone around on the field.
Absolutely. That's, we put pads on for a reason, so let's use them. But again, the best ability is availability. Got to be smarter and taking some of the hits. But when it's one-on-one with the DB, just again being smart, but knowing KYP as we call it, know your personnel.
Okay. We also call it LOL, laugh out loud after you do it, but he's not admitting or denying that. That's fine. You know what else? You mentioned you hate losing, Josh. I happen to know something else you hate, and you hate punting. You absolutely hate it. The team put out this stat today. Everyone's losing their minds on the internet about this. They put out the stat that the Buffalo Bills have not punted a single time in 3 of your last 4 regular season games. And that has not happened since punts started being tracked in 1939. This is like, pre-WW2 era. Had you heard that, and what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, again, we had 3 turnovers. So you can look at it that way too and say we still didn't play good enough. Sometimes the turnover's worse than a punt. And that's how I look at it. So if we can clean those up and, again, have no punts and no turnovers, I think that's when we're really excelling and doing our job. But, that stat really doesn't mean a whole lot to me because of the turnovers.
It's such a smart answer, because you're right. If you throw an interception or you fumble, it's actually worse than a punt, and everyone's oohing or eyeing about this stat. Listen to what Josh just said. He sees the games different. He says, no, that's great. Punt, 3 out of 4 games. That's some factoid. It's the interceptions that you're trying to cut down on, and I totally respect it. There's another guy I want to ask you about, Josh, before we wrap up. Everyone has always said so much intrigue about Jalen Ramsey, and it's someone the internet loves. And fact is, back in the day when you came in the league, he had said some things that were disparaging about you that I don't even want to get into. I think what's interesting is you play him, you go at him a few times, you weren't afraid of him at all, you completed a few, and then he comes out and says on his podcast, Josh Allen's growth has been crazy. He's got all the intangibles, got the size, got the big arm, like he's one of those projects that turned out he's the real deal. As a guy who competes against him and knowing what he said when you came in the league and now that he's coming correct and maturing, like what's it like to listen to that?
It's different for sure. But at the end of the day, I play for the other 52 guys on my squad and I care about what they have to say about me. Whether it's good or whether it's bad, that it is what it is. I can only focus on being the best quarterback, best teammate that I can be for the Bills. So, that's kind of where I'm at with that.
What did you see on that play that you hit Stephon and the big touchdown? It opened up so fast. It was wide open. What'd you see?
Yeah, obviously quarters to that side of the field. We had seen a couple things on our tablet before that drive, and I just kind of told Diggs, I was like, hey, just go. I'll take care of it. And I knew we had an opportunity if I started my eyes to the other side. And, I started my eyes to the other side, and it was just really all right, I'm looking now at the D-line. Like, how can I extend this play and give him a chance? So that's what I did. He ran his tail off, and he made an unbelievable catch. I don't think people understand how hard that catch is. Running full speed this way, it was a tight wobbler. Didn't come off the hand super great. But for him to stop on a dime, catch the ball, roll into the end zone, that's what makes Stephon Diggs, though.
He's the man. And honestly, watching that game, or for someone who's in the Bills Mafia, it was like the off-the-top rope elbow smash, finish it, it's over, bring the belt. And it was like, good night, everybody. It's been great. It was so fun to watch. Josh, speaking of Bills fans, we did something, I don't know if it was a good idea or bad idea. We asked them, do you love the Bills and Josh, or do you hate the Bills? Either way, send us some questions. We call it Inbox Mafia. This is what they came with. The first one is from a Bills fan, and the second one is from a Bills, shall we say, critic. First one, this comes from Tiff, Tiff. You touched on this earlier, and Tiff, I got a soft spot for her. She says, is it necessary for you to run in the fourth quarter when you're up 20-plus points? Can you please stop? From an anxiety-ridden Bills fan with PTSD. That's from Tiff. Go Bills. What's your reaction to that, Josh? Answer her question.
Is it necessary? Absolutely not. It's not necessary. But it's football, and things happen. And we were in a 4-minute drill where we're just trying to waste some clock, and we called a play action. Gabe Davis got open late, but at that point I kind of pulled the ball. There's a D end right there, and I was just trying to get some yards, and we call it a surrender situation where, again, incompletion is way worse. Yeah, I'd rather take a sack there, keep the clock running. But again, there's a crease. I did do a half-hearted slide, and I got off the sideline. Matt Barkley and Case Keenum were like, dude, can you slide for me? And I was like, go back and watch the tape. I didn't really take a hit there or still slide. I did a little jump forward slide. I did get touched a little bit, but again, those are the ones where, I got down in time and I didn't take a big hit.
Damn right. This guy knows what he's doing. This is not his rookie season. I said, though, we asked for people who are not a fan of the Bills as well. This is not a Bills infomercial show. Josh is open for anything. We talked to a national audience here. So we had a question from a Bills fan, and then we had one from a smartass who I don't think is a fan of you or your team. This is the tweet that came in. When we suggested what to ask Bill, he said, do a lightning round of questions and give him 13 seconds to answer, and even actually did a literal LOL at the end. Josh, you understand the reference here. You probably get a lot of 13 seconds BS on the street or in your mentions. Your response to this fan who thought we should do a 13-second lightning round.
Are we doing a 13-second lightning round?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Good. That was a good tweet. Good tweet. I don't know what, why he thought he needed to tweet it, but good tweet. Yeah. I saw it.
And Josh doesn't say this because he's a great teammate. Not 13 seconds got nothing to do with Josh, buddy. I don't know if you watched the game or watched the playoffs. We're going to address the 13 seconds, but the guy on my program right now was sitting on the bench for that. Let's move on, Josh, because I know we want to get into this. Last week, you and I competed against each other, and due respect, you did great against the Rams, but I beat you. Age-old question is the segment we do where I'm significantly older than Josh. You're born in 96. I was born in 79. We're going to show some people who were famous kind of before you were born, but the people at home know. And then you're going to show some people who are super famous now, and whoever wants can identify them will compete. Last week I won, this week I won. Or this week I'll win again. Josh, the first person I'm going to show you. Are you ready? Can you identify this person from the 1990s? Go ahead. Who is this Josh? Who do you got? Bring up the picture. Who is that? Do you know? Josh is flummoxed. He's looking. It's a long, dark-haired female. It is not an actress. It is a wildly successful recording artist. She is a female, obviously. She is Canadian, and she had some really huge songs right in the mid-90s, right around the time that you were being born. Do you have any thought at all? Huge act in the 90s.
Amy Winehouse?
God, that is such a good guess, and that is not right. I love that you guessed Amy Winehouse. I'm supporting you. I'm with you. Do you know songs like, 'Cause I got one hand in my pocket, or and I'm here to remind you? Alanis Morissette? Do you know her at all?
No,
you're so young.
No chance in hell I would have gotten that one. I have never heard that name.
Damn it, really? All right, Alanis Morissette is Canadian, and she had a massive album in the 90s called Jagged Little Pill. It sold 50 million copies or something. Hit after hit. And her whole thing was she had a revenge song about someone who broke up with her. It's you are born in 1996. It is such an endorsement of your youth that you don't know Alanis Morissette. But you don't get the point, Josh. Now you get to return fire, though. Give me somebody from your generation who this old head won't be able to identify.
Let's see if you know this guy.
All right, so crap. I'm trying not to swear. I'm not supposed to swear on Omaha. We have to class this place up for Peyton. I think it's something from Fortnite, but I don't. All right, I'm just going to take a guess. It's a guy, a blonde-haired, handsome gentleman. He looks kind of like Kristoff from Frozen, but it's not him because he has a machine gun. Is that Duke Nukem? Is that? I don't know.
So, in the Fortnite world, and everybody knows this. Yeah. This is called a default skin. This means you're a new player to the game. You have no skins. You're probably really bad at it. Yeah. So this is the default character on Fortnite. So you're close, but I'm not going to give you that point. I can't give you that one.
No, it's not Duke Nukem. I don't have squat. All right, we are still tied like we're the Texans and the Colts, but you get one more chance to. Last week you did pretty well. Do you know that person? Do you know who that is?
All right, I see red tape.
Yeah, it's another female, brunette female from the 90s. I'm laughing at this. Any thought? Looks like she's dressed really nicely. kind of professional, right?
Yeah,
In a regal setting.
It looks like almost like a commencement ceremony.
Yep, yeah, it does.
Like a presidential commencement ceremony.
You are on the right track. This person does have a certain avenue in the world of politics and was globally famous. I'm going to say it was made, 94 maybe? Maybe 94? Infamous maybe is more the word than famous.
I think I know this.
What do you got? Yeah! Yes. You got it. All right, what clicked? That is Monica Lewinsky. What clicked?
I saw the obviously the dress up. It looks like something to do with the president. I kind of crossed off wives of any presidents.
Definitely not that.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Wow. That was like your 28-3 comeback. Like you were just down 25 points. There's no way you're going to win the Super Bowl, and then you just started rifling off touchdowns, and you have a 1-0 lead. Give me one more. Because we got to get to your Heat review. What do you got, Josh? What's the next one? I got to try to tie it. What the hell is this? Oh, wait. Hold on. I'm looking at some animated characters, and this is so perfect coming from a farmer like you. I think those are the guys from. I think these are the guys from Veggie Stories. Is that right?
Oh, you're close. I'm gonna give it to you.
What do you mean I'm close?
Veggie Tales.
Oh, it's Veggie Tales. I didn't get it right. That's half a point at best.
No.
Veggie Tales. All right, Josh just won. Imagine, Josh, we're doing a segment in which Monica Lewinsky beat the Veggie Tales. Welcome to the basement. Oh, it's beautiful. You got the win. You beat the Rams. You beat me. Next up, the Titans. Josh, but before you go, last week we had talked about we're going to do the Josh Allen Film Festival. You had a long flight to L.A., and we realized there's a lot of popular movies, again, from my generation that you haven't seen yet. So we talked to you about Heat with Pacino and De Niro. Did you see it, and what do you think?
Yes, I watched Heat. I really liked it. It reminded me like a West Coast, The Town. Like it was a very similar plot. The Town with Ben Affleck and Jeremy Renner. So I thought they were very similar plots. It's obviously like the main protagonist falls in love with the girl that he's not supposed to fall in love with. They're gonna leave town. His buddy ends up dying. There was a lot of similarities. So I don't know if there's anything taken from Heat into The Town, but really enjoyed it. Robert De Niro. I was surprised at the ending. I really was. I thought he was gonna. No spoilers, but I thought he was gonna escape. Okay. But I will tell you this. I also watched Whiplash. And that last scene may be the greatest scene in cinematic history. Like, that was unbelievable. When he's so good. I mean, he's going on the drums. He mouths F-U to J.K. Simmons. Like, it was unbelievable. And then he goes up to him. He's just, give me more, give me more. Like, that was the coolest ending to a movie I think I've ever seen.
I know. It was Teller. You saw him and you're like, well, he's a superstar for the next 50 years. We're going to be watching him in 100 movies. Obviously, Simmons won the Oscar. It's so good. And I heard that's what Ken Dorsey does when he's running your offense. He goes, faster, faster. Like, that's his inspiration. That's the deal. Josh, before we get you out of here, we were going to prescribe a movie for you going into this week. And we were going to do Shawshank, but we're going to pin that. Because a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback who happens to keep the lights on at this show has an opinion about what movie you should watch. It's a very recognizable voice. Just listen to it. We asked Peyton. Josh hasn't seen these movies. What do you think? Take a listen to this.
I did this to all of our rookies one year. We were in meetings, and I was saying phrases from these movies. I was saying, this is crazy, this is crazy, this is crazy. He wants these cans, and I'm hearing crickets, right? I'm getting nothing, no response. I said, look, here's your homework this week. I want you to watch.
Let's go.
Vacation, The Jerk, Caddyshack, Stripes. I'd go with Vacation and Fletch to start for Josh Allen.
Okay. You heard it from there. I'm just going to jump in. I'm not a huge Fletch guy. It's kind of like a Lebowski of the 80s. I respect it. It's not my thing. For the sake of you and me, National Lampoon's Vacation, Chevy Chase, 1983, very different from Heat. It's a comedy. It's the ultimate road trip vacation type thing. I'm sure you did that with your family growing up in your own way. Vacation. Can you watch it this week?
On it.
He's on it. He's on it. He's our guy every single week. Josh, congratulations on 1-0. Congratulations on Monica Lewinsky beating VeggieTales. We will see you next week. We're rooting for you. You're our guy, and we'll send you a scepter tomorrow.
No, sounds good. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.